Hey there, Balanced Lady Bosses. Happy New Year. This is Stacy, your host for the Balanced Lady Boss Show. And 2024 is set to be an amazing experience for you and also for me. I'm really excited and pumped up about all the different things that I can feel in my bones about the year ahead. And I would say that even this morning, as I was getting out of bed and getting ready to come and have this conversation with you, I was just feeling a different type of urgency. It wasn't stressful or anxious urgency. It was just this bubbling inside of my stomach and my chest that was saying, yes, get out of bed, get downstairs and hop on that microphone and get ready for 2024. Now, I know that for some of you, you may be feeling the weight or the pressure of coming into a new year. And I want to make sure that we are accessing this time with ease and with self acceptance and with knowing that you are the person that is in the driver's seat for your year ahead, nobody else. No matter who you follow, no matter who your teachers are or your mentors are or your pastor, if you go to church, whatever it is, whoever it is, your external influences, none of those persons are in the driver's seat. You are in the driver's seat for your year ahead. And what that means for you is if this is a year where you're taking things slowly and with ease and leaning into the soft side of life, then you're in the driver's seat with that. If this is a year where you are going to be pressing gas and going through the yellows and making sure that you are obsessively chasing, attracting, calling in the different dreams and desires that you have for your life, then know that you're also in the driver's seat. The bottom line is that whichever type of approach you want to take towards the year, the most important piece is that you lead into that with intention. You get behind that wheel of your journey, knowing what direction you're going in. It's not a situation where you get behind the driver's seat and because you want ease and surrender and self acceptance and slow and that more vibrant yet relaxed kind of approach to experiencing life on your terms, that does not mean that you do not create an intentional path for yourself. It's actually even more important for you to do so. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about living a year of intention and making sure that journey is delicious while you get to that delicious destination. On the flip side, if you are in the driver's seat and you are going to know, you already know you're going to have that Mad Max year and you're good with it and you're setting up yourself for success in the Mad Max kind of thinking, that is okay too. The two things, though, that I would say that you want to make sure of is one, that you're leading that with intention, that you're behind that driver's seat with intention, on the journey with intention, making sure that you have your path curated as best as you can to support you along the journey. And the second thing that's important for you, Miss Mad Max, is that you are prioritizing your wellness and your care as a part of the experience. And so I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it with you. I'm here for it for myself because I know that each year, whether intentional or not, you are adding an additional year of life to your experience on this earth. And what a delicious way to have that experience if you are leaning into the possibility of creating life and the journey on your terms. So let's do it. I'm here for it. I wanted to use the way that we're going to go about helping you with being in the driver's seat of your journey is to support you with the framework of the A Year of Intention workbook. This is the workbook that is going to be made available to everybody that participates in Intention Day, which just happens to be January 2nd. And also to anyone who decides that they've listened to this episode or they follow me or read my blog posts and they are ready to shift gear and get in the driver's seat of their journey. This is for any of those persons. And the reason why I believe that something like this framework is going to make a huge difference is that as I was designing the workbook, I was pulling on all the different gurus and experts that I have used to study my planning. Every year I do the same thing between Christmas and New Year's. I sit down and I really conceptualize who I am becoming in the new year. It's still Stacy. I'm just becoming a better version of myself, and ain't nothing wrong with that, right? And what I do is I go through and I ask myself questions. I take myself through a process of being intentional about noting the who I am becoming. And I lean into that significantly during that period of time. And so I took all of those different expert, I suppose you would say, suggestions, expert theories, expert methods, the ones that spoke to me. And I put them together with my own twist, of course, and created the Year of Intention workbook. My desire is to be able to share this workbook with you all as we move into 2024, and certainly going forward as we grow together, achieving what we want to achieve, creating the ease and the joy and the bliss in life that we want to have, and just being more intentional about how we create our life experiences. What is important? What I would say is important when you are looking at creating the life of your dreams and mastering the journey that you're going to be taking to become that person. It's three things. And these three things, if you can remember that it's just three areas that you're going to be focused on or working through to support you as you drive, this is going to become your roadmap. And the roadmap is what is going to sustain you. Now, three key parts to your roadmap. The first part is your past. The second part is your present. And I'm sure you've guessed it by now, but the third part of your roadmap is, of course, your future. Many teachers will say things about the past like, you can't get to the future. You can't get to your destination by looking in your rearview mirror, or you should not spend time trying to dissect who you were in the past because that's not where you're focusing. You're focusing on who you're becoming in the future. What I want to say about that is, while I agree with that perspective, it's really more about getting stuck in that frame of thinking rather than having a context about it altogether. And I'll tell you why. The reason why your past is so important is because it has the programming and all the different piece elements of possibly trauma or life experience that have created who you are to date. And I don't believe you should discard that and act as though it does not exist and just decide that, yeah, I'm just going to go with this new person I'm becoming and forget about my past. Here's another reason why. Having gone through and still going through several years of therapy, the idea of reflection is not so that you will stay stuck there. That's not the idea. The idea of reflection is for you to leverage the insights, the lessons, the inspiration, those things that you can pull together as ideas and thoughts that will support your future. and the person you are becoming. Here's the thing. If you are not taking the time to understand who you are currently and the way you got here, then some of the things, some of the habits, some of the patterns, the thought patterns, the behavior patterns, those things are going to just keep coming up. You will never actually understand why you show up a particular way. I believe that for many persons, especially persons who have already amassed great success, they talk a lot about who they were before they became this person. And when you listen to the stories, you'll also hear revelations that come up when they achieve something that speaks to the person that they were in their past. So you want to sort through what are the experiences that you may have had over the last few years or even as a child that brought you to a place now where you know who you are becoming and what experience you want to have, not just in this year ahead, but 5 years, 10 years down the line. What are some of the patterns that may be showing up where as you go through a reflection? What are some of the patterns that may be showing up when, let's say, you look at your failures or you look at your successes? What are the things that are showing up, like your thought patterns? What are those patterns that are showing up that can actually assist you on your way to your next best self as you are sitting in your driver's seat doing that thing that move forward, that will move you forward? Who is that person? Is it that you have several layers of yourself that you want to leave behind? Or is it that all the bits and pieces that have created the person that you are today are going to be coming along with you? And until you're really clear about that, you're going to have the roadblocks that are going to be roadblocks from your past. And when you buck up on the roadblocks, you are going to have to get out of the car, pause the journey, or maybe it's just going to make the journey pause by itself, figure out and dissect, etc., and then clear it away. Not saying that that's not going to happen, but guess what? If you actually spend the time reflecting with intention and embracing the lessons of the past to light up your intentions for the future, if you spend the time doing that work, when you approach the roadblock now, you can start to already synthesize in your mind, okay, I know what this is. This is my self-saboteur coming to tell me that I'm not good enough to do this, that, and the other. Oh, yeah, this is the old imposter syndrome self that's using comparison to show me everything that's going on in people's highlight reel. So I'm just going to swerve that real quick. Oh, no, this is that situation where I put myself in a non-committal space because I'm afraid that if I commit, I'm not going to be able to actually deliver on my commitment. And so instead of committing, I'm just going to just decide that I'm not going to do it. I recognize that roadblock. And so I'm going to pull on the different things that I know will help me to move past this non-commitment. Whether it is I'm going to dial up my mentor and have a conversation, or my coach and have a conversation, or I'm going to tune up my radio station to listen to some inspirational music, whether it is Beyonce or Riri Rockstar that gets you going, or Sia Unstoppable. I'm going to make sure that I'm dialing that up because that's what is going to take me past this particular roadblock and get my headspace in the right way. Whatever it is that works for you, you would have identified that prior to arriving at the roadblock on your journey to whoever your next best self is. Are you feeling me? I'm feeling me. So the first stage of your roadmap for your delicious journey is reflecting with intention and then stepping immediately into gratitude. You need to celebrate every step, win or learn. You're going to be celebrating that on your journey of growth because life is not a linear path. It is a tapestry. It is woven together with victorious moments and epic failures, epic valley moments. And what you want to do with that is you want to recognize that as you are reflecting, it is not about getting stuck In the reflection, it's about now shifting into understanding these roadblocks, seeing them and knowing that you can get to understand them, shifting into the gratitude for the wisdom that you are getting, these little whispers from life that are showing you that there is another way, there's another path, and you can still take it because you still have life and breath in your body. So you go through that process of reflecting with intention, and you can deepen that as we do in the workbook by looking at the specific areas of your life that are really critical for you. And one of the things that I do in the Year of Intention workbook is I actually go through identifying some of the key categories of life and helping you to reflect in a more intentional way, because sometimes you just don't know where to start. And that's the truth. I didn't know where to start when I began this journey, 13 years ago now? I didn't know where to start. And so over time, I have been able to tap into all these different resources. And a lot of that insight is in this workbook that you can use. Now, that is the past. That is reflecting with intention. And so now we are moving into the second component of your roadmap, which is your present. And your present is one of my favorite, your present, my present, the present. It's one of the things we talk about often on this show. The present is your gift. This is the now moment. This is the opportunity for you to be in appreciation of the now and acknowledge it as the best time of your life. And that's because you are alive. You have this now moment. I know that you may be thinking, suppose I'm sick and I'm struggling financially, and maybe I was rich and maybe I was healthy. This is not the best time of my life, but I would beg to differ, because you could have died from that. You could have died from your sickness and you wouldn't have a no. Maybe you don't have the same level of resources, but you have life and you have the knowledge that allows you to create those resources at an even higher level. So this is actually the best time of your life, because you have all this wisdom that you have used to get through life to this point, and you have life now that you can use to chart a course for the future. And this is coming from someone who has been through those challenging trials and tribulations, those moments where I didn't think I was going to make it either. And so what you have to really do when you step into your now moments every day is you have to get centered. Make sure that you are seeing yourself as you're going through your reflections and you're now moving into the present moment. You would have gathered a lot of insights that are going to be really helpful for you as you chart your course towards this future self. When you're sitting in that centering, and in your workbook, what I've done is I've actually given you a very easy centering exercise, which is a breathing exercise. And breath is a great way to bring yourself back to the now moment. It takes you out of your head and out of those thoughts and the whirling in those thoughts, and allows you to sit in this now moment, because that's what you're doing. You're just sitting and breathing. So when you're in that space and you've gone through your breathing exercise, then you want to start to now think about things like, what are the areas of your life as you are sitting there and feeling into yourself, which are really whispering for that nurturing, which are saying to you, I know that I need to pay attention to this. As I was going through my workbook for my planning, which this year I'm using Darren Hardy's Living Your Best Year Ever. I'm using his workbook this year to support my planning activities. And as I was going through that workbook, I think one of the things that came up for me was the person I am bringing to the party of 2024. When I'm in the driver's seat, I have several passengers. I have some passengers in the back, and I have a passenger that's right beside me. And this is my ride or die partner that's on the journey with me. And because I'm in my present moment and thinking about who that ride or die person is, Then I start to process now. If I was in the driver's seat and I had somebody beside me, I need somebody that's fully woke because I know that it's going to be a long trip. And if I get sleepy, I need somebody that's going to poke me and point me in a particular direction. I need things that are going to remind me of why I'm actually on this journey. So I thought about, all right, I need to make sure that I have in my arsenal, I have the person that is going to be my accountability partner, my ride or die, my tell me when I'm in my BS mode kind of person. I started to think about who I need to be with me as I'm journeying. Who is my co-captain on this trip? Is it going to be another version of Stacy that I lean on, or is it going to be a coach? Is it going to be my love partner that I'm going to make my accountability partner by giving him specific things that I want him to check me on? Is it going to be my best girlfriend or my best girlfriends, like a circle of sisterhood? What exactly is it that I'm going to strap in next to me to make sure that I stay woke? I have to think about that. Another thing that kind of dawned on me as I was preparing myself for the year ahead and just thinking about my current situation, like what gifts do I have in my present moment? The resource gifts is one thing, but I also have this gift of knowledge about my life in its current state. I included an assessment in the workbook to help you to identify what is happening with you in in different aspects of your life. So last epic, we would have talked about the 4 core areas. In the workbook, I added 2 more. So I'm going to remind you of the different buckets that you are going to be thinking through your current situation. So currently you want to look at your health and wellness. What is your physical and mental well-being saying about who you are in this now moment? Wealth and financial freedom. Where is your money game right now? Is it turned all the way down or is it turned all the way up? Is it somewhere in between but a little shaky and you need to work on it? Where are you currently in your wealth and financial freedom space? Career and community contribution. I wanted to expand behind just thinking about work, where work is for yourself, and have you start to think about community contribution. How are you serving? Are you volunteering? Whether it's you're volunteering as a mentor with a few persons, or are you serving on boards? Are you serving on PTO? Are you serving in your community, helping to make sure that it's tidy and clean on your homeowners? Where are you volunteering? Are you volunteering in your church or your synagogue? What exactly are you doing that is contributing to the fabric of the world that you live in? One of my favorite ways to contribute is actually to serve on boards, and in particular, serving on boards for entrepreneurs and the persons who are coming up next to the next big thing. Are you doing something like that? So how are you contributing to your community? Love and relationships, intimate partners, family and friends. You are all very familiar with the love and relationships space. How about your lifestyle and passion? Where are you when it comes to your creative endeavors or to the home that you live in? Do you feel good in your home? Do you want to have other homes that you can also feel good in? Are you traveling? Are you doing adventurous things? Is that a part of something that you're passionate about? Do you have a creative side of yourself that you are honoring or not honoring? Where are you sitting in your lifestyle and passion space today? And then last but certainly not least is spirituality and growth. Are you a part of a community or engaging in activities that allow you to connect with a higher source, with the energy of all things? For some people, that is God. For some people, that is the universe. For some people, that is life or nature. Some people don't believe in anything at all. They just believe in life. Are you connecting with what you believe in as a way to actually shore up how you feel in this present moment? Are you spending time with your belief system, with your knowledge and trusting in a higher source? Are you doing that work? Are you actually leaning into growth and self development? What are you doing? Are you listening to this podcast? Are you following gurus? Are you reading books? Are you listening to books? Are you actually edifying yourself and your soul with things that are going to support you as you're on this journey? Right? So think about spirituality and growth as a part of that. So all of these different aspects are included in the workbook. And then I support you as you move through the thinking about it and shifting into how exactly am I now going to chart my course from these areas when I look at my current state? What needs my attention now? That's what it is. The gift of now is understanding where you are so you can really devise what needs your attention. Here's the thing. When you are thinking about your future, we oftentimes get into this dream state and we get carried away by the big goals, the big visions, and we are heavily influenced by the external circumstances. It is hard to escape all the different persons whose highlight reels are all around you. Before social media, you'd see your neighbors and you'd see the car and the house and the clothes that they wear and the speaky spokey and all the things. Now that you have social media, you have all these different platforms where everybody is showing up and showing off. And while that may be nice and good and dandy, it does not support you if that is what is driving the way that you're thinking about your future self journey. What supports you is knowing what needs nurturing now in your life. And also, what aspirations do you have? Because I tell you something, if you are aspiring towards a grand vision that requires you to be healthy and your wellness is popped right down, it's going to make it very difficult for you to survive the journey that is going to pull and push you in so many different directions. And when I talk about wellness, I'm talking about both mental and physical wellness. It is required for you to take on this experience, this journey, and have that thriving feeling as you're going through the process. Similarly, if you are looking for a new experience in love or with your career or with your finances, and currently you have a poor relationship with spirituality and growth, you're not doing no kind of work on your self-development, you're not reading a book, you're not listening to nothing, you don't even know what direction you want to take in your career or your love life or your money life because you're not spending time doing work like this, then honey boo, where are you going to drive to? Where are you going to move towards? How are you going to chart your roadmap? Because all the different signals on the dashboard, you're not paying attention to them. If your gas is low, I can tell you right now, when you step 5 minutes down the road, you're not going to make the entire trip. So the journey is definitely not going to be juicy and the destination won't be delicious because you're not going to get there. I think you got my point. Okay. All right. So let's talk now about the future, which is the part that everybody wants to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about the future. And some people get really caught up in the new me and the new self that I'm becoming. And I'm not trying to say that having a conversation about new self and new you in any way is not something that you can do, because if that gives you life, then go ahead. If it is stressing you out, then let it go. Choose another path, choose another road that you can drive on. Maybe you feel better knowing that it's the same you and you're just shedding things that don't serve you and welcoming things that do. Whichever way you want to do it, you are thinking about your future. You do think about your future and you do think about the person who you need to become in order to honor that future self when she arrives. As we get into that future state conversation, what I want you to do is to lean into being laser focused, because you can, of course, have a million things that you want to do during the course of the year, but you are the creator, and you're a masterful creator of your life experience. And as we say that, I am moving straight into our epic intentions, moving into straight into our sponsor for the Balanced Lady Boss Show, Epic Intention cards. And this card is one of my favorites. I remember when I wrote the intention and the feeling that it gave me when I was working on it. And that's the words. I am still actually a huge Wayne Dyer fan. And he has a book called The Power of Intention, and a lot of teachings around intention and how to leverage the power of intention to create the life of your dreams. And one of the things that he often talks about is to think about yourself as being surrounded by the life that you are trying to create. And what that does is that ushers in with a quickness the life that you are trying to create. And so when you start to think about yourself in that way, it helps you to get laser focused, and it helps you to prioritize what you are going to be doing to get to that person, that state. And so the intention card for today is I am a masterful creator. I contemplate myself as surrounded by the conditions I intend to create. And I have attributed that to Wayne Dyer on the card itself. But I am a masterful creator, and I love the idea that I can dream up a thing and then I can make it into a physical, tangible thing that I can share with the world. And through sharpening your focus, you get to literally slice through all the distractions. Literally, like when it gets dark and you're driving, you're on your delicious destination journey, it gets dark and you're driving. When you turn on those lights, it keeps you laser focused on what is in front of you. And if you have a million different roads that you could go down on this journey, right? Let's say you want a new lover. You also want to be a millionaire, and you want to make sure that you have the house that of your dreams, and you want to buy the yacht, and you want to tour Europe, and you have all of these things that you want to do. These are all different roads. And when things and times get rough, or when the darkness descends upon your day and you turn on those lights, you have to be super clear about where you're focusing, because otherwise you are either going to end up trying to focus on multiple roads at one time, which you can't, trying to chase multiple directions or rabbits, looking at your map and trying to tell Google Maps to go to multiple destinations, which doesn't work. Or you are going to sit there and be in the power of having that prioritization and knowing where that tunnel vision focus is going to take you, knowing what to say yes to, saying yes to what truly matters, and no to everything else. And let me tell you, it is going to be challenging to say no to some of the things that you have habits built in to say yes to. Sometimes on your journey, you're going to feel hungry, you're going to want to stop, and you're not going to be able to stop until the next two exits. You're going to have to make some decisions. And so moving away from having just a list of things that you want to knowing where your priorities are is going to be the biggest thing that you can do for yourself in 2024. You have to know what is right for you in this journey. I got to say that because for some of us, because we have all these different dreams, sometimes we're also carrying other people's dreams for our lives. I remember I did that for a long time when I was married. I was carrying the dreams that I would have seen of people living these epic love lives and romantic relationships with these amazing men who are just so thoughtful and considerate and romantic and all the things. And I would have these thoughts that this is what my love life, my marriage was going to look like. I would also have the guilt of worrying about what would happen should I not be married with my kids. I would also have the worry about my family and concern that I have to maintain my family so that all the other families could still be proud of us, could still be happy for us. And it wasn't working. Same thing with a job. You get so handcuffed with the golden handcuffs of the people that you work for, your boss that you love, or the colleagues that you're so attached to, or the paycheck that you get, that you're not able to see your way clear because everybody else has their hands on the wheel of your destination. So instead of it just being two hands that are driving, you have four because it's you driving it and your husband driving it. And then if you're like me and you had 3 kids, then that's 6 more hands. So that's 10 directions leading the car. And it's not necessarily even that they are being intentional about trying to drive your life. This is you in your mind creating that all these things are driving my direction and I can't do anything else because I have to serve everybody else who is depending on me. So as you are getting into your laser focus, you want to start shedding the additional hands that your mind has placed on your driver's seat. Now, please to note, I'm not saying that if you are absolutely in love with your life and work is great and you love and enjoy that experience, or your love life is great and you love and enjoy that experience, that you're going to now start shedding those hands. That's not what I'm saying to you. When you go through and you actually do your assessment and you see which areas of your life are struggling right now, where are you not feeling lit up? Where are you feeling like life is draining and dragging on you and you're driving in your vehicle, even as the Mad Max, and you're driving your fast car, etc., your Porsche, your whatever it is that you're driving, and you feel like you're pulling a 10-ton truck behind the car. Wherever you're feeling like that, that is where you want to investigate and see who else is on my wheel. What other hands are taking control of my wheel? Some of us talk about Jesus taking the wheel. That's a very popular phrase, Jesus take the wheel. And because sometimes you just get to a state where you don't even want to be driving anymore. But I can tell you that no matter how much you call on somebody else to take the wheel of your life, if your mind is constantly putting other people in the driver's seat, you will never get to the life that you desire. And what's great about knowing that is then you can change it. Oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Feel that one. I'm here for it. All right. So we talk about the laser focus. And the last bit that I want to add about that future state is when you are in your future thinking and planning mode and you're working on your goals, you want to make sure that your intention is clear. And the reason you want to make sure that your intention is clear is because your goals are external. Goals are external. They are not internal. They are the things that you aspire towards. They are oftentimes outcome focused, external things, while your intentions are all about the experience, the values, the inner self work that you're going to be doing to fuel you towards the outcomes that you're creating. So if you're in this car, this vehicle of your body on this life journey, you can consider your intentions, your engine, and all the things that are inside of that engine, all the engine oil and the pistons and the different things. I know nothing about cars, so don't quote me on that. But all the different things that are in your engine. You can also think about intention being fueled by the things that you put in your tank. So if you are feeding your thoughts and your body with things that are going to serve your intention, your drive is going to be a lot smoother than without it. So as you are well intended, so your life shall unfold. And in order for us to get into that space of intention and understanding what exactly it is you need to make sure that you have on this path, the next piece is once you have that intention, then you now need to start making some commitments. And these commitments are agreements that you are making with yourself. The reason why these agreements are so important is similar to why when you're devoting yourself to another person, they have you say vows. You are stepping into an agreement in some way, shape, or form with your words, whether you're speaking those words or you're writing those words and signing your name to it. And what I want to share with you now before we close is a Dear Self letter that I wrote inside of the Year of Intention workbook. And this is really me supporting you all as you create your own agreements and commitments with yourself and the year that you want to have. Dear self, as the new year dawns, I stand at the threshold of possibilities and promises. Today, I make a commitment to myself, a commitment to live intentionally, to embrace growth, and to cultivate joy in every step of the journey. I acknowledge the paths that I've walked, the lessons that I've learned, and the resilience that I have fostered as a result of this. The experiences that I've had are not just memories, but they are stepping stones to my future. In this year, I commit to using all these lessons as guides that are going to help me to ensure that each decision, action, and thought aligns with my truest intention. I promise to nurture my body, my mind, and my spirit because I recognize that my being is the foundation of my ability to thrive. Whenever I have moments of doubt or difficulty, I will remember that challenges are opportunities for growth and that my strength is greater than any obstacle I may encounter. I commit to pursuing my goals with passion and perseverance, knowing that the journey towards them is just as important as achieving them. I'm going to celebrate my wins. I'm going to learn from my setbacks, and I'm going to continue to move forward with an unwavering belief in my abilities. I vow to practice gratitude every day, recognize that the beauty and blessings that already surround me in my present moment are the things that are going to light up my path. I pledge to embrace kindness to myself and to the world around me. And I'm going to strive to be understanding, patient, and compassionate, fostering connections that are going to enrich and inspire my journey. As I lean into this year of intention, I promise to be true to myself, to live authentically, and to make choices that reflect the person I aspire to be. I commit to this journey, not just for this year, but for as long as I live and have breath in my body. And I am committed to the pursuit of my growth, my fulfillment, and my joy. That's it. I hope that Dear Self letter is an inspiration for you. Whether you want to write your own or you want to adopt mine, please feel free. I am happy for you to use it. Even if it is that you decide, I'm not going to plan no year of intention. I'm just going to come up with my one big thing that I want for the year. And I'm going to keep recommitting to that by speaking my commitments to myself through this Dear Self letter. Write it out. Use your hands. Write it out. Fold it up and put it in your journal. Keep it beside your bed. Pull it out and read it to yourself once a week, once a day, however often you need it, once a month, every quarter, as you start to check on your progress over the course of the year. I just want you guys to remember that you are in the driver's seat of this journey and that there is a way to actually go about taking it on. And I hope that these tips that I have provided you will allow you to have not just an amazing new year, but a year of intention that is truly filled with the life that lights you up inside and out. Thanks for joining, ladies. I'm so pleased and thrilled to have you as a part of my community. And I can't wait to see you next week on another episode of the Balanced Lady Boss Show. Take care. Thank you so much for joining us for another epic of the Balanced Lady Boss Show. It really means a lot to know that you have chosen to join our community and to listen in to all the insights and gems that are dropped by my guests, or if it's just me on our episodes. And of course, to show our appreciation, we want to make sure that we're providing you with value added resources. And you can check those out on our landing page, balancedladyboss.com. Now, for those of you who want to make sure that you are staying up to date with all the latest, you want to hit that subscribe button. And there's more. You want to check out our YouTube page. Just look for Stacey Hines on YouTube, and you'll be able to see the videos of the Balanced Lady Boss Show epics. That's right. All our guests, well, most of them, have chosen to allow us to video record these epics. So you can check those out on our YouTube page, along with other useful insights about living an intentionally balanced life. Stay tuned, guys. There's more goodness to come from the Balanced Lady Boss Show. Take care.